Okay. Okay. An estimated 57.9% of developers worldwide use Python. In January of 2026, Python surpassed JavaScript as the top language in GitHub. It's the most popular language in the world. It's super useful. Um, okay. So in our next segment, we're going to use Google Colab. So if everyone could just log into Google Colab, it's just entirely in the browser. Just search up Google Colab and it's like the first link. If anyone needs help, like DM Gotham. I just want like everyone like once you guys are into Google Colab, like send a message in chat.
And also, when you send your first or when you run your first like line of code, it will take a pretty long time. It's usually just takes like a little bit of time for the software to actually, kind of load out. So after that, everything will run pretty smoothly, but just make sure to be patient for that first
Okay. Yeah. Good point, Almond. Just like if you're in, just like type in chat like I'm in. So oh wait, do you not see the screen, Neil?
No, he's asking what are you supposed to
Oh,
see when you
okay,
sign in?
okay. So okay, I'm not sure because I'm on a screen share right now. And can you?
I got
Okay, yeah, yeah, that'd be great.
um it should just like I think you should be able to press new notebook
Oh
once you're
yeah,
signed in.
it's here. I'll send a little link in chat. Maybe it'll work.
Yeah, try pressing new notebook and then see where it takes you.
And then yeah, click new notebook, and then you can rename it whatever you want. Just once you're in, just send a quick message.
Gavin, do you think you could hop off your screen share and kind of show what your Google Cloud looks like? Or like
Um,
I can
get out
share
of
my
the
okay,
screen if you
thing
want.
okay.
so
I think
people
Amin's
know
gonna
what it
be
looks like.
yeah.
They can just do
All
Okay,
it.
right.
here's the thing though. Like, wait, let me try
We're
again.
getting
One
a lot of
sec.
people.
I
We're
tried
getting a
this
lot of
earlier. It
people
didn't
in.
work.
But we need to make sure everyone gets in because if someone doesn't get in, then you can't do
Okay,
the
it
code.
says like I don't have access. I think it's because I'm on my school account.
Oh,
I can
oh
show them
yeah,
if you
yeah.
want, but
Go ahead, Ahmed.
okay.
Okay.
Share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Or it might take a while to load, but
Yeah, it takes a little bit. We tested this
okay, you guys can
earlier.
see it? Okay. So so once you sign in, you should see this screen. Um, and after that, I guess you just press new notebook. Take a while to load, but after that, you can rename it anything you want. You could call it like, class
I,
one
I
Python.
think you have to keep it a .ipynb. I don't think you can. I think it has to stay
It works. I
.ipynb.
think I renamed the demonstrations something else and it
Really?
still
It
works.
works?
Yeah, no, it works. It
It's
works.
not like VS Code. It's a different IDE, but
Oh, yeah. I use different, so I have to keep it. But if it works like that, then
Oh, you also have
so
Gemini on the side.
yeah.
Oh
Think then
no.
So far we have one, two, three, four. We have nine people saying they're in, and we have what, 15 people in the class?
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna share screen again.
Um,
Hold up. Okay.
okay, we have 10. Oops.
Wait, I think I'm going a little fast. I'm gonna slow down a little.
Just give him a second, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
If they want to test out, they can print "Hello World." I'll send the command in chat
Oh, yeah.
if you guys want. But just go into your cell, write this, and then there should be a little play button in your corner, and you can just print.
Okay. I just want to make sure everyone's in first before we go any further.
Yeah, okay. I'm sending private messages out to the people who haven't sent anything in chat.
Okay.
So be on the lookout.
We're just gonna take a few minutes.
Okay. Waiting for four more people.
You
You have to
just
type the word.
yeah, you type it into the cell.
Three more people.
Is that two more people got them? Okay. Okay. I don't know. Gotham, is everyone in or
I think you can just go ahead. If they need help, they can message me. But we're just I didn't get response from two people.
okay, I'll just talk a little bit like more about like why Python, like about Python, because I feel
You
like
can go
I
ahead.
like I kind of glossed over a little bit. Um, but I want to talk a bit more about it. So basically, Python syntax, which is like the language, like if you know languages, it's like Chinese, English. Syntax is basically just the language, and Python syntax is basically like close to plain English, like as close as possible to plain English. Um, it's like that's the reason why it's the big reason. It's like the first language that people usually learn, and then it also has a huge ecosystem. So whatever you're doing, like maybe you're doing trying to do AI or machine learning, there's PyTorch or TensorFlow or NumPy for like data, uh, a huge library of like different things like that developers use. So like you rarely just start from scratch. And then it's also extremely versatile. Uh, you can do web backends, data analysis, machine learning. Um, it covers a ton of ground. Okay. But the trade-off of that is speed. Like I know that Ottman likes to use C++. Um, C++ is a super fast language, but Python is different in which like for most tasks, like it's super slow. So, but in practice, it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah. I think someone's in the waiting room.
I think I admitted them. I'll go check.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Oh yeah, if anyone needs help setting it up after class, if it's not working, you can contact us. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, Amin, do you want to cover this or?
Uh, I think, yeah. I mean, if you
Okay,
want, you
wait.
can cover this. I'll
I'll
cover the
just go over like the
demonstration for it.
presentation. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that sounds
Okay.
good. So we have four types of data right here. We have integers, which if you know from math, they're whole numbers. So no decimals, basically. No fractions, no decimals. It's a whole number. It can be any whole number, negative, positive, or zero. We have floats, which are decimal numbers. So unlike integers, they have decimals um, attached to them. So it can be like 1.5, 2.5, 0.6, whatever, right? Strings, which are basically just texts. Um, it can be like my name is Gavin. So in which Gavin would be the string there. Like if I okay. And then Boolean. Think of this like a light switch. It's either on or off, true or false. In Python, whenever you write true or false, the first letter always needs to be capitalized. So in this case, is fun equals true, in which T is capitalized. If is fun was false, then F would be capitalized. I think Atman wants to show some demonstrations. But just clarifying for each of these, like age equals 16 or name, like age and name, they're considered variables, which are things that you store the data in. Okay, I think Atman wants to do some demonstrations.
Okay. So I think you guys probably get all of the other ones, but I think there's something cool with Booleans as well. And it's comparing things together. So obviously, for example, like Gavin said, like any integer. So for example, 2 could be for X. For Y, it could be 2.1 for a float. Z, it could be any string like welcome to Python. But then finally, we obviously have Boolean. So is Python fun? I would say true. But the biggest thing that you can do with Booleans is you can also compare things together. So so in this case, we all know that 2.1 is greater than 2, right? So that in that case, y is greater than x. Um, but if we were to do that, right, for example, if we were to actually say that y is greater than x, so obviously we have our variable, it's going to be comparison. So we can print that out. And what we would get from this is true, right? Y is indeed greater than x. But if we wanted to switch that around and, give out a false statement, say that x is greater than y, obviously this is false. If we print the same thing, then it will also output false. So that way you can also compare things together and you'll also get a Boolean like structured output. So that's the demonstration for that.
Okay, if you guys have questions, oh, okay, that was a bit fast. Okay, if you guys have questions, like please use the chat. Like Gotham is willing to answer questions, and I can tell that like this might be a bit complicated because it's like super crowded, and we're like going kind of fast. So yeah. Wait, okay. I mean, do you not want to go a bit more or
I mean, I don't
okay,
really know what else to go into for this.
okay, I think it's fine. Okay, let me open the screen share. It's like wait. One sec. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. So we mainly use variables to store data. So you might be a little bit confused about this equal sign. Like score equals 95, but then player equals Sam. The equal sign basically just means it stores this item. It doesn't mean like it's equivalent to it. Um, as shown here, variables can change. So score equals score plus 5. Basically, this is adding 5 to the score. So before this text is initiated, the score is equal to 95, right? The score is 95, as we learned for the equal sign. That is the score. Once this text is initiated, I guess, this line, um, it basically adds 5 to the score. Simple as that. Like you can think of this as the left side is the new score. This side is the old score plus 5. And then I guess we didn't really go over this, but the print function, it just prints it as an output. So if we were to print the score, the output would be 100. Um, and then we have some naming rules. So for variables, you can use letters, numbers, and underscores. Oh, this is important. Case matters. So lowercase h and uppercase h are entirely different things. Variables cannot start with numbers, so too cool is not allowed. And there's no reserved words, so I don't think you can name it print or true or anything like that. Amin, do you have any comments or can I go on?
Yeah, you can move on.
Okay. Okay, next, we're gonna check the variable types with the type function. So I think Amin has some demonstrations.
Okay, yeah. So, oh yeah, yeah, got them. I'll get to that. Um, so let's say, okay, let me just wait for this thing to load. Okay. So let's say you have, I don't know, an integer, right? X equals 1. That's going to be our variable. So if you want to check, or if you want to check the class of what this is, we obviously know that it's an integer, but if we want to double check, then we could just use something called the type function. It looks a little bit like this. So we can print, and then we can write out this type function. And then within these parentheses, we can put in our variable, and the output should give us something like this. Let me just print it out. And it's just a class integer. So in that way, you could test, kind of check what the variable type is. For example, if this was a string, and we want to check this again, then we would get string. str is just the abbreviation for string. We can also do the same thing for a float. If we want to go 3.9, let's see, it would be a float. And then x is true, then it'd be a Boolean. So in that way, you can just check what kind of class your variable is. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of like a double check function.
Okay. Okay. We have string methods here. So I'll just explain it a little bit. If you're using the dot upper method, then this string high dot upper, the result of it is going to be high, like in uppercase letters. Same, like kind of the same thing for lower. If you use the dot lower method, the string wow dot lower is it's gonna be lowercase wow. Dot strip, so high dot strip is gonna strip all of the spaces away. Um Okay, wait. Dot replace is gonna basically replace the letters inside of the string with a different letter, I guess. Can be, yeah. So for this instance, cat dot replace ch, it'll become hat. Using the length method, we can find the length of a string. So for this instance, Python has 6 characters. The length of it will be 6. Um, okay.
So I think for this part, it's a little bit complicated. So, oh, someone didn't understand the length one. I could go ahead and show
Oh,
that right
okay.
now if you want. But I think it's best if I show it to you, and after that, everyone goes on to Google Colab and tries it out for themselves, just so you have a good, like, you
Yeah.
understand how it works. Because you can't just, look at code and not play around with it, right? So,
Yeah, I think we'll have like 5 minutes, like 5, 10 minutes to like play around with it.
yeah, so let's say we have our string, let's just say Python, right? Or let me just do it. Let me just play around with it, make it, crazy looking. So we have a lot of different kinds of string methods. So obviously you talked about some like string dot like dot upper. So we could go ahead and print that out, right? We could print out string dot upper. Make sure to keep these parentheses in here. You don't have to write anything within it, but you just gotta make sure you have to write it out. Um, so this will output obviously, Python all uppercased. Same with the lower function as well. It'll lower it all down. Um, strip just strips down all the spaces. I think Gavin already said that. So all like the empty spaces in your code. And then the length, we already had a question about that. So you can print the length. So you just do len and then string, and you should get 6. So it's just this is kind of how it looks. So usually you would just have your length function, and in these parentheses, you just put your variable name. Um, and you print that out. Now these are just a few string methods. There are a lot of string methods. And sometimes it's hard to remember all of them. So there's a special function that Python includes that you could, learn about all of the different types of string methods. And this is the function that you use. It's called help and in parentheses str. If you were to run this code, you would see that there's a lot of text, but it essentially just shows you all of the different types of string methods that you could apply to your to your string variable, and it will change it up, right? So for example, is space, it'll return like it'll return a boolean kind of thing. But in this way, like you can learn a lot more about string methods, just kind of go into a deeper level with it. And you can also play around with this on your own if you want, while we play around with this. So yeah, I think now could be a good time for them to play around.
Okay, wait. I think a lot of people are like kind of confused.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you guys like some time to play around, but I want to go over like what we said because I don't think we've been like really clear. So I'm gonna go over it again. Okay, wait. Let me share screen. I just wanna show you guys. Okay. So currently I'm on Google Colab. What we're gonna do is we're gonna press new notebook, and then it's gonna bring us into a new notebook that we can start coding on. Okay. I guess we didn't really go over this, but I think a lot of you guys know this. If you press, sorry, one sec. You, if you press the do this phrase print hello world, the output will be, if you just give it a sec, it's a little slow for the first time. The output should be, see here, hello world. Okay. This is considered a string. So when you want to print something out, it should always be a string. Like, for instance, if I tried to do print like the number one, okay. Oh, well, I guess it works here, but okay, usually it doesn't work. I don't know. Um, but if you're printing something out, it should usually just be a string. Um, and then to recap what we did, so there's four. Oh, by the way, if you do a hashtag, it makes a comment. It's like commenting your code. So it doesn't run the code. Like it's comments you add to describe what you're doing. So there are four types of data. Okay. There is integers or int. So if we do num equals one, this will be an integer. So the variable num will be set to one. As we learn, this equals means that the variable is set to the data inside. Okay. Next, we have floats, which is like decimals. So if we do num equals 1.1, this is a floating number. Let me just, okay, or sorry. 1.1, this is a float. So float equals decimal. Next, we have, let's see, we have strings or str. So this is what you use to print. So if I do like my name is Gavin. So this is string. It's like text. And
Wait,
then,
sorry, Gavin, just one second.
yeah.
So we had a question about capitalizing the first letter, only the first letter in a string. I'd like to show that really quickly. Um,
Oh, okay. Well,
and
wait.
we can keep Gavin's screen share on, so it's fine.
Okay.
Wait, just share the Google Colab. I don't understand. So you guys can just edit the same document,
Okay.
edit the same notebook.
Okay. We'll do that in a second. Um, I just
So,
kind of want to finish my presenting.
oh
Okay.
wait, oh. So
Okay. Okay. But so these, oh, I forgot. Booleans or bool. Think of a light switch.
I'll just send it privately.
Okay. So then Booleans are like light switches as shown here on the comments. They're either on or off. So if I do light equals true, that would mean the light is true. Okay. Um, it's either true or false. The first letter of true or false always has to be capitalized. That's kind of like the rule. There's something fun that we can do. It's I just want to do a quick demonstration. So if this is num1, for instance, and we have num2 equals 2, if we print num1 plus, wait, okay, sorry. And then we have num3 equals num1 plus num2. If we print um, num3, what do you guys think it's going to be? Like, if you guys want to answer in chat. Okay. Yeah, it's 3, as we can see here. Um, But if we set this to string, so if we set this to a string, now what do you guys think it's going to be? Okay. I'm still seeing threes, but it's going to be 12. Um, does anyone want to guess why? Okay, well, it's because these two are strings. When you quote unquote add, oh, sorry, don't, okay, I'll delete this. This might be a little confusing. I'll delete this. Focus on this line of text. Num1, num2, and num3, which we have num1 as one variable, num2 as another variable, and num3 as our third variable. And we are just printing num3. So num1 currently is a string. Num2 currently is also a string. For num3, we are setting it to be equal to num1 plus num2. If we add two strings together, the output will be 12, sorry, not necessarily 12, rather. The output will be the two strings combined to each other. So if I put, for example, food, if I put this to cake, if I put food1 equals to cake, food2, I put this to pizza, and then I set food3 equal to food1 plus food2, we are going to be printing, if we print food3, can anyone guess what this output might be? Yeah, Nirmal, sorry if I mispronounced, he got it correct. So the output is just going to be cake pizza. But if we did this with normal integers like 1 and 2, the output is just going to be 3. So that's why data types really matter here. Amin, do you have anything to show, or because I can keep going on?
Yeah, I think this should be fine.
Okay,
I
wait.
think
Okay.
should we let them play around with this for a little bit, or
Well, okay. Do you guys want some time to play around, or like I can keep going like kind of deeper into like booleans and the other data types? You guys can choose. And I added you to the notebook if you okay.
okay.
Right now it's kind of mixed. I think okay, I'll give you guys like 3-4 minutes to like play around. Like just like do this, see, kind of test the waters, I guess. Test around and then
You know,
we'll be back
actually,
in a sec.
for some
Okay.
people that want to keep going, you could keep presenting in the background for the people that want to play around. You can go into Google Colab and just
I don't think
play.
you should
Yeah, I'm
do
over
that.
presenting,
I
I don't
don't
think
know.
you should do that. That'll
We'll
make
just
you
go for it
miss
as a
out.
group together. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay. We'll take like a 3-4 minute like play around break, I guess. And then we'll continue. Okay. I know Ahmed wants to go. Um, oh, you do the dot upper method like after, and then you do parentheses. But okay, I think Ahmed wants to go into string slicing and some methods, but I want to just do a little bit more about the 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 data types. So we're gonna take like a minute or two, and then we're just gonna like quickly go through them, and then we're gonna go into string slicing and stuff and like methods for string. Okay. So we kind of went into depth into integers, um, but I want to transition to going a bit more into like Boolean strings and floats. So if we let's first go into floats, or let's go first go into Booleans actually. So Booleans, we can set a variable to is raining, I guess, can be our variable, and we set this to true. Um, if we print the type of it's is raining, we are going to get class bool, which is a boolean, which is what we are using. So this is the variable. True is the boolean. Sorry. Okay. And then if we do, for instance, age equals 20, we print age is greater than 18. If we are this, we are going to get true. Okay, it's pretty intuitive. Our age is equal to 20. If we print age greater than 18, it'll be true. Whenever you want an output, you always do print. Um, if you do, for instance, I guess print age equals 21. Okay, don't worry about this double equal sign. We'll go into that a bit later, I think, down the road. But just for showing, it's going to be equal to false for the output. Um, okay. So if we want to go into strings, we can first have name equals, let's say, my name is Gavin. Okay. If you do print hi, comma, space, um, someone's in the breakout room. Okay. If we do hi, comma, space, and then plus, this is like adding on to the string. As we learned, a string plus another string just makes a big string, essentially. We do hi plus this plus name. Sorry. Name plus exclamation mark. This is going to print, sorry, let's get rid of this. Let's print hi Gavin. You guys can test this out if you want to. Okay. I also want to go a bit deeper. And I want to show you guys something else. It's called an F string. So this is like an easier way to print using variables and like text. So what you do here is you can do basically the same thing, hi, comma, and then you use curly brackets. So you don't have to do the plussings in between the text. To make an F string, all you do It's just the same statement, but an F at the start. So as you can see, these two are exactly the same. F strings are just a bit easier to use. So everyone get that? Oh, I was just going like over the data types again. Okay. Like, okay, I don't think it's too important. Gotham's gonna be listing the data types in chat. Okay. So, okay, we're gonna try some string methods now. So if we do, for instance, s equals, let's say Python is fun. Then if we print s dot upper, this is the upper method that we were talking about a bit earlier. What do you guys think this is gonna be? What do you guys think this is gonna output? Okay, well, I'm not seeing many answers. Um, but basically, this is just gonna it's gonna output this variable, but everything uppercase. So the variable is Python is fun, but only the first letter is uppercased in the variable. But the dot upper method is gonna uppercase everything. So the outputs Python is fun. Okay. And then for the dot lower method, it's basically the same thing but lowercase. So pretty intuitive. Okay. Now I want to try the replace method. So if we print s dot replace fun and awesome, this is another method that you can do. It basically just replaces fun with awesome, I guess. It's the output is Python is awesome! Exclamation mark. Now, if we want to use the split method, it's gonna be print s dot split, in which, okay, it's gonna print a list, which is um not something that we're learning right now, but it's gonna be useful later down the line. Um, okay, we're gonna go into floats now. Oh, sorry. Okay. So for floats, it's a decimal number, unlike integers. So for floats, we can do a variable price. We set this to 1999. This is a float. It's a decimal number. If we have another variable, tax, and we set this to 0.8, 0.09. If we print price plus tax, it's going to be the sum of these two, of price and the tax. So 1999 plus 0.09 is equal to 20.08. I think later down the line in this course, we are going to make a calculator function, and you can use that to cheat on your homework. But for right now, that's what we're going to be doing. Okay. I guess one more thing that we can do is kind of combining floats and booleans. If we do print 0.1 plus 0.2 equals 0.3. Again, don't really worry about the double equal sign. We'll get to that later. This will either output true or false, in which we all know, wait, okay, it's going to be false. Wait, I don't necessarily, oh, okay. Um, okay. Yeah, are you not on my screen? Okay. Oh, whatever. Oh, another thing, this is super important. Okay. So if you print int and it's something that's like not an int, um, let's say it's a float, right? So if I print integer of 8.8, this is gonna truncate down to 8. It's not a round, it's just the main number. Does everyone get this? This is not a rounding, like not, I suppose, yeah, it's like a rounding down, but it's not gonna be like round to the nearest like whole number. It's gonna be like truncating down. Okay.
And so you told me that's the reason why it was false, right?
Yeah.
Because what basically
Wait.
I'll
Yeah.
explain a little bit if you want, or if is it fine? I could tell them later.
Yeah. 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 Go for it. Go for it.
So Python as a language, it stores stuff in, or yeah, computers in general, they store stuff in binary. We look at numbers in a base 10 system. So in short, what happens is numbers are represented differently on the computer. Like Gavin said, they're truncated. Um, so yeah, what happens is you essentially get like a little bit of like a decimal addition. So that's why it shows false. It's just numbers are represented differently on a computer than it is in our base 10 system that we use.
Yeah. Like if you see here, if you print 0.1 plus 0.2, it's going to be 0.0004, which as we know is not 0.3. So it's going to be false. Um, yeah. Okay. Do we want to go into string slicing? Are you ready?
Yeah, we can go into string slicing.
Okay. Wait. Oh, wait. I probably should have. Okay, wait. Okay, I'll share screen.
Yeah, go to the slide.
Just give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go into string slicing. Give me full screen. Okay. So string slicing, if we have a string, if we have text and we set it to Python, basically string slicing will slice the string in a way. Think of like a piece of bread. If you use a knife to slice it, if we slice it right down here, oh, sorry. If we slice Python right down here in the middle, the output is going to be thon. So in this case, if we slice it like this, the output is going to be thon. So what it's doing here right now is the two is, okay, I guess I kind of have to explain. Python works in a way that P is like the zeroth like thing. Like, okay, it's hard to, and do you have like a,
Do you have
Okay,
annotations
so
on?
basically what in in
oh,
Python or
annotations.
like
Yes, yes.
sorry, what'd you say?
I'm not good at
Okay, wait.
doing it on
You can
computer.
say it.
So like each character or sorry, yeah, each character in a string is like it take occupies like a position, right? But with indices in Python or like in any language really, the first index is always going to be numbered 0. It's not going to be the first index, is going to be the 0th index. Then the letters after that will go up by 1, or sorry, yeah, the characters will go up by 1 in indices. Um, so yeah, as you can see the annotating on the screen right now. So that's kind of the anatomy of a string. Um, and I guess with the initial index in string slicing, it's inclusive. So if you want, I can go to the demo to show them a little more, just so
Yeah,
you can
show
see.
them what like the values
Sure.
of each like letter in a string is,
How do
so
I
they know how to.
okay.
Oh yeah, Gavin did it right here actually.
Okay.
If you want to join the notebook that I shared with you.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Am I in?
Start typing something. Oh no. Are you in?
Yeah. I think I am.
Yep.
Oh.
I
This
think
is
you
just
can
like
delete everything
refresher.
above. Just keep the string up.
Wait, I'm in. Start typing here, I think would be good.
I am typing. It says saving
Okay.
failed.
Okay. Do you want to screen share?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, that.
so we have our string here, right? And like they said, the first index is the 0th index. So there are three different components to string slicing. The first one's the initial index, which is where you want to start cutting the string, or where you want to start your like string slice, and then the ending index, which is where you're going to end it. And then you also have a step, so like the interval that you're taking it. So let me just show you. So so I'm going to show you just a quick anatomy of it. So it goes like this: X, Y, Z. Um, X over here, I'll just write it down as well. But X here is the first index or the initial index. I'll just say first index. This index is inclusive, so that means that it's included in your string slicing. It's not going to be excluded in any way. And I'll explain the difference here. So Y is the ending index. This one is exclusive. So let's say you wanted to start cutting a string from like the first index over here, right? From this Y. And then let's say you wanted to end it on, I don't know, the fourth index, which is over here. If your ending index was 4, it's not going to be counted in your string slicing. So let's say I wanted to start cutting a string from, like I said, the first index. And let's say I wanted to end at the fourth index. The O is the fourth index, right? But it's not going to be counted. It's exclusive. So the string is actually going to end at the on the H. So as you can see, it will be YTH instead of YTHO. The last index is never counted. I'm going to make sure to stress this as we keep on going on. The last index is never counted. It's always the string before it, or sorry, the index before it that's counted. Um, and then there's also a step component. So obviously this looks a little confusing, but let's say I wanted to have every other letter in my string. So this last one is, let me just say, Z is going to be our step. It's essentially the interval you take. So if I have 2 over here and I print it out, you're going to see PTO, right? So you have P, skip 1, T, skip 1, O, skip 1, and so on. So that's like the interval of 2. In this case, the first 0th index is always included. If I wanted to do a step of 3, it would just be PH, right? P and then 1, 2, 3, it would be H. So kind of like that. Now, there's also a thing, it's kind of confusing, but you can also have indices that are negative as well. So let's say you can start from the -1 and you will have n, right? So -1 is just you start from the end of the string instead of at the beginning. So if I wanted to go -2, then it would be the second to last index or the second to last character. So it would be O. And you can also have a negative index in your step as well. So, and this is where reversing a string is kind of comes into play. So if we had our step be -1 instead of being any positive number, it would go backwards, right? It would go backwards. So if let's say I had a if I initially had a step of 1, +1, it would print everything, right? Because it's going through each and every letter from left to right. With -1, we're switching it up. Now we're reading every character from right to left. So then the entire string is just going to be reversed. Um, so that's kind of negative indices as well. That kind of plays a role in that. And you might be thinking that I've been skipping some numbers when I've been typing out these colons. Basically, you can skip numbers. So let's say I have both of these and I have a step of 2, right? So there's an empty space over here, right? Let me just put these as placeholders. So if you put nothing in the X area, then it's going to automatically assume that we're going to start the slicing from the 0th index because you're not specifying anything. I think might have some questions, right? Do we have any questions that I should be concerned about?
I think they're like a bit of like confused, like entirely.
Okay.
If you want, like I can
You can, yeah, come in, come
try
in,
my
come in.
hand. Wait, can you add me to the thing?
Sure. Okay, right.
Okay. Or
Wait,
I guess I'll just do mine.
do you think you
It's
could use
good.
a whiteboard and explain like just using a whiteboard for right now?
Okay,
Because
but
I know like in code it'll just give you the input and output, but they need to know like the process that the computer goes
okay,
through.
okay. I want to
Haven't
like
I have you added? So
okay, it's fine, I think. For right now, I just kind of want to go into getting a specific index, I guess. So if we have a word, we set it to beginner. This is a string. If we want to get the index of B, we're going to do word and then do square brackets. And then to get the index of B, remember how if you guys want to annotate, that'd be great. Like B is the index of 0, E 1, G 2, I 3. If we want B, it's going to be 0, right? So this is just going to take B, the index of B, out of the word. And if we want to print it, that's going to be B. Okay. If we want to get, for example, we want R. Okay, well, let's count and see what position R is in. It's gonna be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're gonna get R. A kind of faster way to do this is what Atman was talking about earlier. He uses negative numbers. So for instance, if I was to print this would be like backspace 1, I guess. Like it would go from the back. So the first letter from the back is going to be R. Okay. So does this make sense to everyone? Okay, great. So this leads into like string slicing. Um, so for string slicing, if we do word and then square brackets, and if we want to go, for instance, mostly, no, okay, I'll just continue on. If you guys have any questions, like, just ask Gotham. He's willing to answer questions. So word 0, this is just going to be B. But if we slice it and we do 3, as Ottman said, the first number is going to be inclusive, or first number is going to be inclusive. After the colon, it's going to be exclusive. Like this number is going to be exclusive. So 0 to 3. This is going to, if we print this, the output is going to be B, E, G. Because I is going to be the third indice. So this is number 3. This is number 0. The first number is going to be inclusive. Third letter, exclusive. All right. Yeah. So it's going to be beg. Um, Hopefully that made sense.
You guys understand how the number assigning works for each character in beginner?
Okay. Wait, I'll real
I can
quickly
go ahead and
do.
write it on the side if you want, like you said.
Like B is equal to the 0th. Yeah. Amin's doing it, Gavin.
So I'll also
Okay.
write the positive numbers. I'll also write the negative numbers as well.
Okay. I can tell this can be like pretty confusing.
If you understand what each character in beginner, like the value each character in beginner gets, it makes it a lot easier. And it'll
Yeah.
follow the same pattern for every word. It'll just like the numbers will differ varying on the length of the word.
So Amin's annotating B0, E1. These are the indexes for a beginner. If we
So you see
print,
how Gavin did word is from 0 to 3. Since he did word is from 0 to 3, it'll just go from 0 to 2 because it's not going to include the third character.
yeah, so
Correct.
this is
Oh,
exclusive. This is inclusive.
sorry, Amin.
Oh,
But you'll always include the first one and not the. Here, Gavin, go ahead and do like 1 to 4 instead.
sure, sure.
So if he does 1 to 4, it's going to start at 1 and it's going to go all the way to 3, but it won't include 4, which is going to be n, right? So if he does that, we should get EGI, right? Yeah, that's what we got here, and that's what we're expected to get. And now
Yeah.
Atman's writing the reverse on the screen as well, right? Um, yeah.
Okay. So does that make sense? I just get like a show of hands or maybe like a text in chat. Okay. Yeah, this is like kind of confusing. I can see that.
I think what's great to understand is the fact that when when you think of like coding and like Python, it's almost like the computer isn't gonna take in letters. It's only gonna like it only understands numbers almost, right? And because it does that, like it can't like actually understand what letter each letter is. So what it's gonna do is it's gonna assign a value to each letter. And when you assign a value to each letter, what'll end up happening is it won't recall like if I give the computer like word equals S, it's not gonna remember the letter S. It's gonna remember the number 0 for that letter S, correct? So when
Yeah,
you
okay.
go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say like this doesn't mean like b equals zero, like 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 a variable. This isn't a variable.
The computer just takes it as that. So when Gavin writes word bracket 0, this computer remembers this 0 is for it remembers the B going in the 0 position, right? It's kind of like being inserted.
Yeah. But no. Okay. I think okay. I'll just give you guys a little
Um,
time to let that melt into your brain, I guess. But
and then
this is just yeah,
Gavin
sorry.
and Atman will create like a worksheet with like just the basics of Python, and then it'll also have like this stuff on it, so you guys can like get practice.
And I'm guessing, should this be optional or should this be required? Because you guys also have homework as well.
This is homework now.
I mean, an entire worksheet. We can add extra problems then about of this then.
Bro, you're
Okay,
evil, bro.
I
That
think
is
what you guys
evil.
should do is
It's evil.
Evil.
since
Okay, fine. Then what do you want to do about it?
I think the worksheet, if you guys don't understand, then you guys should do the worksheet, but the like the coding that they'll assign should be done.
Uh, I'll just move on. Okay, wait. Let me re-explain this. So this contains two indexes for string slicing. The first one is inclusive, so the output will contain this index. The second is exclusive, so it will not contain this index. So when we print this out for the word beginner, it's going to go. So the first one is inclusive, so it's going to include B. But then this is since this is one, this is two, this is three. It's not going to include the letter I. So the output of this will just be B, E, G, if that makes any sense. Um, and it's the same logic for this one. We can go through this together. So it's just going to be E because it's going to contain E because this is the first index, or I guess technically the second. So it's going to contain E. G is going to be two. I is three. N is four. If that makes any sense. The class ends at 4:30. So the output of word one to four is going to be EGI. If that makes any sense. Okay. Now we're gonna do something different. We're gonna print word. Okay, I'll get to the step in a second. Three, and then this. This is different, and it's just gonna go from index three to the end. So if we count zero, one, two, three, I to the end. So this should do inner. if we do print word colon 3, this is go from the start to index 3. This should take us to the end of class. Okay. So this is from the start to index 3. So if you don't leave anything for the first number, it's just going to take you to either the end or the start. Okay. Now, I think we're going to do some string slicing has something, it's called steps. If you include, okay, so right now we're dealing with like two numbers. If you add a third number, this is a step, right? So let me show you guys. If we do word 2 to 6, right? Which is going to be E, G, I, N, and something like that. And then if we do 2, it's going to do every second letter. I don't know how to. Okay. So if we just, okay, we just print word 2 to 6. This is going to be gin, Ginn. Now, if we print this last one, it's going to be a step. So it's skipping every other one, essentially, since it's 2, and it's due every second letter. So it's going to be I and N, or sorry, not I and, it's going to be G and N. So it's just going to be GN because it's skipping every other index. So if I uncomment, it's going to be GN. If the step is equal to 1, it's going to be the same thing. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe so. If the step is equal to 3, it's going to be equal to 3, or it's going to be GN. It's going to be equal to the step 2 because it's skipping every third, or it's taking every third, I guess. So, like a quick example, if the word 2 to 6, from index 2 to index 6 is what we have, it's going to take the first index, right? And it's going to skip this one, and then go here. So skipping 2 in between, and then like that. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So I'm going to write something out. That'll hopefully make you guys. Okay. Um, okay. Hopefully that makes sense. We're going to do a little bit more fun with it. Have a little bit more fun. We're going to do something like exotic. So we're going to do print word -5 -2. Can anyone guess what this will output? Okay, Ethan, bro. Like, what does that even mean? This one's pretty challenging, but it's gonna run in. The output is gonna be in. Okay, because it's gonna be -5. So this is -1, this is -2, 3, 4, 5. As we know, first number inclusive, so it's gonna include I. Second is E. -2 is equal to E. The index E is -2. If that makes any sense. And then -5 to E, but excluding E is gonna be in. Bro, Ethan, lock in. Ethan, okay. B was print word 02. Sorry, Ethan. Okay, Ethan is our friend, so sorry if we sound like disrespectful. We're just like joking around. But 0 to 2 is gonna be B. Okay. And then I think we'll do something else as a test. We'll do print word -4 to the end. Oh, and by the way, if there is no step, it's it's just one, right? Like the step is default. The default is one. So if it's -4, this is -1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, right? Um, then it's just gonna do this to the end. Oh, this to the end. So -4 to the end. The default, if there's no number, is to the end. It's gonna be ner. Um, I can tell that this is like kind of confusing, but if you guys have any questions, like please feel free to put in chat.
Did you did you show them negative indices or like step like for step?
Oh, okay. So as for an example, if we do word, if we just do this, wait, if we just do this is just gonna print as the word beginner, right? Because there's no start, there's no end, so it's just gonna go from the start to the end. Okay. Now, if we add our step, it's just gonna go like just backwards. It's just be reversed. So it's gonna be beginner backwards. Does this make sense?
Gavin, do you want to quickly cover like what each um colon like represents? Like it goes start to end the step. You want to
Yeah,
tell
I
that?
already
Like,
covered that.
oh,
I
you
already
already
covered
covered
that.
that.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, if you didn't catch that. The first one represents start, middle is end, last one is step. So if they're empty, it will default to the very first index, which is B. And then the stop is when the string slicing will stop. So and it'll default to the very last index, which is, well, it's just the whole string. Then step, if it's -1, it's just going backwards, right? It's the step it goes. Like, okay, for example, if the step was equal to 1, it's just gonna be the word. because that's the default. It just goes like that. That makes more sense. Okay. Um, yeah. And then if the step is -1, beginner backward. So yeah. Um, oh nah. Um, but yeah, there's only 3 minutes left of class. I think for the rest of class, you guys should play around with it. Um, if you guys have any questions, like you guys should totally ask them. But we really don't have much time left. If you guys have any questions, just like feel free, I guess.
So just to clarify that the starting character is always 0
Yeah, it's
and
the
not 1
zeroth
because
index.
it starts from 0.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Make sure that like whenever it's like also it goes from inclusive to exclusive as well. So if you go from 0 to 3, it doesn't include 3. Does that make sense to you?
Is it always exclusive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always exclusive.
Also, I saw that you said that like the third colon represents something, but for
It's
that
oh
only have 2, or like for the ones that only have 2 colons, like what happens there?
that's actually a great question. So if there's only 2 colons, or okay, I think you mean 1.
Or yeah, just like some of the examples
Oh,
didn't
sorry,
have.
this isn't.
That
Oh,
just
are you
means that
talking
there's no
about like
step.
the empty space, like where it's not filled in? Or
Yeah.
No, he's asking like,
Oh,
how does this work? I think. Ethan, is this what you're asking about?
yeah, because that only has like that doesn't
Yeah,
have 3.
it doesn't have a step, right? Step. It just defaults to 1
Oh,
if there's
okay.
no step. Yeah. Um. Okay. It's 4:29. If you guys don't have any other questions, like I guess like feel free to leave. Um. If you guys are still confused about this, like next time, like I think we can go over it like a little bit, but
if you have any last minute questions, probably best to ask now.
wait, if you guys just like didn't understand it, you can like stay after class and we'll like explain it to you if you want. All right. But you guys get it, you can leave. Oh, that's only if you have like questions. If you don't have any questions, you can leave. Okay. Yeah, feel free to leave if you are good to go. Bro,
Well, what is going on with this class?
Uh
You guys are genuinely the worst.
yo,
Gavin, oh my god. Can
bro,
Gavin and
I'm
Alvin
bad.
switch positions? You guys
bro,
need to
I
get
was
your
Dude,
bro,
charts
I
together.
thought
Oh,
bro, I
stop
did okay,
recording.
I
Bro,
was
Stop
doing my
recording. Stop
part,
no
right?
recording.
offense, but I didn't. You were like jumping